The Journal's courageous reporting on President Trump's past relationship with financier Jeffrey Epstein triggered the release of the so-called Epstein files, thousands of documents that might otherwise have remained hidden from the public. And despite the president's threat of a lawsuit, the Journal published a story about a provocative letter to Epstein bearing President Trump's signature. Trump quickly filed a $20 billion lawsuit against the Journal, revealing reporter Khadija Safdar's home address. Her family had to be relocated.
U.S. President Donald Trump found himself at the center of another uncomfortable White House Correspondents Dinner moment, this time forced to sit through a public tribute honoring the very journalists whose reporting once triggered his massive legal battle over Jeffrey Epstein. A report that prompted Trump to file a $10 billion defamation lawsuit against the newspaper. That lawsuit was later dismissed. As the journalists accepted the award, cameras turned to Trump. The president appeared to wear an uneasy smile and at one point even shrugged as White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt reached over and gave him a reassuring pat on the shoulder. The award also included a $10,000 cash prize. But it wasn't the ceremony that stole the headlines, it was Trump's reaction. Within minutes, video of the moment spread across social media, with critics claiming the president had been publicly embarrassed as the room applauded the journalists whose reporting he had fiercely challenged. One viral post read, "Trump is sitting humiliated as Karoline Leavitt comforts him. This is unreal." Another user wrote, "Wolf humiliated Donald Trump. This is absolutely amazing. Well, this seems to be an interesting evening after all." A third reaction declared, "This was the highlight of the evening. The look on Trump's face was priceless." Another critic accused Trump of reacting inappropriately, writing, "Trump smirked when Wolf said the journalist had to move her family after Trump gave out her address. Not funny one bit."
This year's award goes to the Wall Street Journal. The Journal's courageous reporting on President Trump's past relationship with financier Jeffrey Epstein triggered the release of the so-called Epstein files, thousands of documents that might otherwise have remained hidden from the public. And despite the president's threat of a lawsuit, the Journal published a story about a provocative letter to Epstein bearing President Trump's signature. Trump quickly filed a $20 billion lawsuit against the Journal, revealing reporter Khadija Safdar's home address. Her family had to be relocated. The Journal was kicked off of Air Force One, but the reporters continue to file revelatory stories. Please welcome the winners of the Katharine Graham Award from the Wall Street Journal. Khadija Safdar, Sadie Gurman, Annie Linsky, Josh Dawsey again, Alex Leary, Rebecca Ballhaus, and Ryan Barber. Their colleague, Joe Palazzolo, could not attend tonight.
This wasn't the only White House Correspondents Dinner moment to spark controversy. Trump also faced backlash after using his speech to mock CNN's Caitlyn Collins, calling her a fake reporter while she was being recognized for her journalism.
But I want to personally congratulate CNN's Caitlyn Collins on receiving her award. It was all about me. It's a fake. She shouldn't get the award. It was a fake, but I didn't mind. I said, "Caitlyn, congratulations." But it was fake. There's no question about it. But she's a young, attractive woman. She never smiles. I said, "Caitlyn, do you ever smile?" Smile. You have a nice position. You're at CNN Fake News. You should be a happy person. So smile, Caitlyn. Just smile. But we attack, and I thought Caitlyn had really made it big with a major new. It'll be one of the people in this room that I like, and I'll pick it up. Like this one right here calls me on occasion, right? She'll call me and she says, "Hello, sir. How are you? We want to talk about some horrible subject, like a horrible, depressing subject. I say, Jackie, I don't want to talk about it. Congratulations, however, on your new marriage. No, because, look, if I were a reporter, and let's say I'm a big reporter, I work for the failing New York Times, or I work for, well, I don't know, do they ever come to these dinners? Didn't they cancel out a long time ago? Big mistake.
Donald Trump is facing fresh backlash after using what was meant to be a celebration of press freedom to launch a personal attack on CNN's Caitlyn Collins.
But I want to personally congratulate CNN's Caitlyn Collins on receiving her award. It was all about me. It's a fake. She shouldn't get the award. It was a fake, but I didn't mind. I said, Caitlyn, congratulations. But it was fake. There's no question about it. But she's a young, attractive woman. She never smiles. I said, Caitlyn, do you have a smile? Smile. You have a nice position. You're at CNN Fake News. You should be a happy person. So smile, Caitlyn. Just smile. But we attack, and I thought Caitlyn had really made it big with a major new.
Speaking at the White House Correspondents Dinner redo, Trump took aim at Collins after she received an award for her coverage of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's Oval Office visit. During his remarks, Trump mocked the CNN journalist and even compared her to a transgender influencer, drawing an awkward silence from the audience.
We attack, and I thought Caitlyn had really made it big with a major new sponsorship, but then I informed her that it wasn't her on the Bud Light can, it was Dylan Mulvaney. And Dylan Mulvaney cost Bud Light $35 billion in market cap. That was the worst commercial ever made, by the way, for those few people that want to hear that. Most people don't care, but I would. I wouldn't want to hire Dylan anytime soon. Think of it, they hired Dylan Mulvaney, and their market cap has gone down by $35 billion. Who wrote that commercial? And then you have writer Josh Dorsey.
But the backlash didn't end there. As clips of Trump's remarks spread across social media, critics flooded the internet with blistering reactions. One user wrote, "Anyone who supports this demented freak is entirely bereft of any morals or values." Another commented, "In Trump's upside-down world, it's actually a tell that he is afraid of her. In a strange way, it's an honor." Others went even further. One viral post claimed, "When Trump is on his deathbed, they'll be partying in the streets all over the USA, and the world for that matter." And one of the harshest reactions read, "The best part about this demented, rotting, pedophile piece of shit is that no one in his circle ever reins him in."